Welcome to episode 2 of Illusions of the Ego. If you haven't watched the first episode, make sure you watch the first episode before this, which talks about exactly what ego is and the number one way that it sabotages us in our life. If you struggle with any insecurity, self-image issues, video 1 is going to be massively supportive for you, and it's every single part of the series builds on top of itself. So, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you can be notified when each and every episode of the series is released. We're going on to step 2. Are you ready to up-level your consciousness? Are you ready to outwit fear? All right, well, I'm gonna show you how, okay? So, and if you aren't sure who I am, a little background on me. I'm a mindset coach. I've coached hundreds of people between the ages of 12, because I've done teen emotional intelligence and leadership trainings, and 74 years old, maybe actually a little bit older now, through transformational work, transformational trainings, and mindset coaching. So I've been doing that for the last 4.5 years and gathered up a lot of information, knowledge, and tools that I'm really excited to share with you in this series. So the second way that the ego sabotages us is it uses fear. Do you struggle with the fear of failure? Do you struggle with worrying about the future, worrying about what might happen to you, worrying about getting ill, worrying about losing money or failing, worrying about never being able to make it? How does fear hold you back in your life? Are you afraid of what people think about you? All of these things, these experiences that are rooted in fear, is the ego making itself stronger and reinforcing itself. If you are single and you want to start dating, that's one of your dreams, and you're walking around and you see someone attractive, but you decide not to go up to them because you're afraid that you'll be rejected or you're afraid what they might think about you, that is the ego holding you back and keeping you locked in the prison of your comfort zone. If you want to start a business and you want to be successful and weeks, months are passing by where you are in the exact same place and you aren't taking action to further yourself in the direction of your dreams by actually starting, that is the ego keeping you locked in the prison called fear. If you want to transform your body and get in the best health, the best shape of your life, and you're not going to the gym, you're procrastinating, you're saying, I'll do it tomorrow. That is the ego strengthening its power over you. And if you want to create success in every area of your life, it is critical. It is absolutely important. It is an absolute must that you not only master your mindset, but you become the master of your ego, because most people are slaves to their ego. And every time we let our fears hold us back, we become a slave to our ego, to our fears, to our doubts, to our insecurities. So how do you make the shift from slave of my ego to master of my ego? And if you are facing resistance in accepting the fact that you've been a slave to your own ego, that is your ego throwing up resistance to keep you from changing in itself. The ego operates in many ways. It's very tricky. It's very savvy. It's working on autopilot. It has more energy than you. It doesn't even need energy. It just operates on autopilot. In fact, when your energy drops, it's when it really shows up. Have you ever been tired, exhausted, and you're like cranking, you freaking hate the world? You're like, I don't want anyone to talk to me. And your fear and your doubt and your insecurities are like, boom. That's because your ego's showing up loud and clear. So how do you overcome these fears? Well, the only way is to take them head on. Every single success that I've created in my life has been an outcome of overcoming fears. Because every time we're evolving, every time we're growing as human beings, we must be overcoming fears. I can't stress this enough. Your ego wants you to be the old version of yourself, the lowest version of yourself, the worst version of yourself, your authentic self. Your soul, your heart, the person that you want to be wants you to grow and expand, and your ego is going to be throwing these obstacles, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, boom, boom, boom. Let's see if you can jump through them. Let's see if you can overcome them. Can you? It's a challenge that's throwing up, that your ego's throwing in front of you. Are you strong enough? Do you have the will? Do you have the courage? Because overcoming fears takes absolute courage. And how do you grow your courage? Courage is like a muscle. So every time you overcome a fear that's been holding you back, you gain courage. Now, I want to challenge you to write down what is one fear that's been holding you back from creating a greater level of success in your life. And how can you overcome that today? Not tomorrow, today. And notice the fear might be coming up already. It's growing stronger. Well, are you going to let it own you? Are you going to be a slave to it? Or are you going to step through and up your level of mastery? It's your choice. It's your opportunity. So how do you do this? Well, the first thing to recognize is that fear is a lie. It comes from our past. When we were cave people, we would look around, just like this. We'd look around. We'd look out for lions, because if there were lions, we could be killed. We could be eaten. And a part of our biology still thinks there's lions. The reason why we didn't walk up to that guy, to that girl that we thought was attractive, was because the primitive fear of death, says if that person has a mate and I walk up to them, I may be killed. The reason why we struggle when it comes to doing the things that we actually want to do because of the fear of rejection is because there's a part of us that's afraid that we'll be killed if we do that thing. So we must go against our own biology, our own nature, to prove to ourselves on the next level of our evolution that, no, those fears are lies. They're not true. There aren't lions that are going to attack us. Maybe if you live in Africa and you're going out hunting in the forest, that's a real fear. But in our everyday society, no, not at all. So you must take action. And what's a tool that you can use to do this? As soon as you feel the fear, this is what I do. So let's just use public speaking, for example. I used to be horrible at public speaking. And I used to, anytime I would public speak, even going on camera, I would be terrified. My heart would be pounding my chest. Now I feel energized. Why? Because I've trained myself to feel energized. And imagine what it would be like if every time you were afraid, you turned that fear into fuel and it energized you, motivated you, and inspired you to take action in the direction of your dreams. Let's create that. Let's do that. So now if I'm sitting, back before I step in front of the training room in front of 60 plus strangers, people that I've never met in my entire life, I have the mic in my hand. I'll feel my heart beating in my chest. I'll feel the energy coming up. And most people would classify this as anxiety, as fear. And so what I do is when I feel that coming up, I go, wow, the universe is really giving me an abundance of energy to serve. This is why I do this. This is the juice. This is the excitement of life. I reinterpret it. I shift it into excitement because fear has the same, when we're afraid, it's the same biological response. Or let me correct this. When we're anxious, and that's the cousin of fear. It's the same biological response of like, what are they gonna think about me? As excitement, well, what are they gonna think about me? What is the difference I can make in their life? And another way to do it, I'm gonna share another quick tip with you, is shifting your focus from inward to outwards. Whenever you notice yourself focusing in on yourself, you're highlighting your insecurities, your fears, boom, that's ego showing up. The ego cannot show up when you're focusing out and you're in contribution and you're making a difference and you're in the zone of taking action. It has a back seat. That is when your soul can shine through. That's when your greatest gifts can shine through. Think about the times where you've expressed yourself in your life. Maybe playing guitar, singing, making videos, creating, painting. The times you're focusing on playing your favorite sport. What was absent was the ego. What was authentic and here and real was your connection to everything around you. That's the truth. That we're all one, that we're all connected. And when you're in that zone, the ego cannot survive. So if this was a valuable shift for you when it comes to overcoming fear, please hit the subscribe button because with every video I release, you're getting a mindset upgrade. You're getting a mindset shift. You're growing and developing yourself. What I used to do when part of the biggest things of my success is I know that environment is a key factor when it comes to success. What we consume, we become. And so what I did from the ages of 15 to 18 was I just literally, and I still do this today, I would block out the world around me, the environment around me, and what I would do is I would just consume all of the information I could about success and developing myself and growing. And it's not enough to just learn, you've also got to take action on it and put these tools to work. But taking that time and that investment of time, because time, we don't spend time doing something, we're always investing energy in time to create something. Spending that time, investing that time in yourself to learn and to grow is so important. It's an absolute must. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Share this out with somebody who could benefit, because you share this with a friend who lives around you and they begin learning these tools, you are up-leveling your environment around you, creating a network of success around you, and that's a must too. So thank you for watching, and we have another video of this series, the third part of the series of Illusions of the Ego, and we'll be jumping in. So I'm excited for this next one because this is a major block when it comes to success, and it's going to be an absolute game changer. So I'll see you on the next video.